444 hit number 168 North San Francisco Boulevard, 5279 RD 11.
SWOOP has decided to get involved in assisting with the rebuilding and recovery of Katrina, and instead of sending a large group of people down into Lord knows what, we decided to send an advance group to do a little reconnaissance. We came to be known as the A-Team: Lisa, Susie, Bev, and myself. First impression is that it is a tale of two cities, multiplied city after city, town after town, community after community. Several of the largest cities that are impacted, New Orleans, Biloxi, Gulfport, have portions of the city that are virtually back to normal. You can see the stores are open, the cars are out, people going about their business, kids playing in the park. And a few blocks away, it's total disaster. See bits of debris, houses, cars upended. Aside from clearing the streets, virtually little has been touched since the storm. Most of the effort for recovery has been small groups of individuals that have gotten together, or small volunteer groups pulling resources to try and put things together and get the communities back to normal. We started in East Biloxi and then traveled along Highway 90 through Gulfport and past Christiane. And then the bridge further down Highway 90 was out, so we had to go inland and around to another coastal community called Pearlington. This community was virtually untouched by recovery efforts. There was a nurse from New York who had come down on her own shortly after the storm hit, and she had done a little work there. Very few other organizations doing any work whatsoever, and what they were doing was not coordinated. Just this past January, Presbyterian Disaster Association had come into Pearlington and started work. But all along the coast, there's just so much that still needs to be done. The sheer scope, the magnitude, the fact that the destruction just goes on mile after mile after mile after mile along the coast, and then in some cases several miles inland. You can see where houses have been floated off their foundation, the debris 20 and 30 feet up in the trees that was put there not by the wind but by the wave action. Just the destruction that just continues and continues and continues. In this situation, every little bit helps. Neighbor helping neighbor, people in the community helping the next community, sharing what they can, pulling resources. One house that's mucked out, one roof that's put on, puts that one family that much closer to getting back to normal. And until the homes are rebuilt, the community's not going to come back. And they have to have a place to live before they can start thinking about working. It's the whole economic, the socio-economic ball. You need the workers to live in the area, to have the industry to continue. The industry supports the workers. The majority of the media and the rest of the country, this is something that happened and it's over. For the people down there, this is still continuing. And the amount of debris and the amount of support needed is still virtually no different than the days right after the storm. Every little bit helps. If you can't find the time to come down and actually work with a work crew, help with supplies, help with funds, help with maybe finding another time outside of this SWOOP organization to go down and help. We provide referrals to some other organizations that are doing good work that can accept volunteers 1 or 2 at a time for a few days, a few weeks. Help any way you can. They need it. They'll continue to need it. Most of the volunteer organizations that are down there are looking at a 3 to 5 year commitment, doing nothing but debris cleanup and rebuilding. Some people ask, well, I already support SWOOP and I make donations and I give my time here. How is this different? It's different in that the funds that SWOOP has collected so far have been, for the most part, with the understanding that it's going back into the local community here in the Triangle Triad area. We need to raise separate funds to provide assistance to the communities in the Gulf. Now, SWOOP will be able to provide some support, but they can't finance the trip and the supplies on their own. So all the money raised at this time will be going directly to support the work in the Gulf.